What's going on, guys? We're back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. Today we are going to be talking about whether or not the 7th inning program voucher is worth your while. Is it worth it to put in signature Piazza, signature Jackie Robinson, and signature Ken Griffey Jr. in order to get 75 program star head start on the 7th inning program? But quickly, before we get into this one, if you guys could leave a like down below, definitely does help me out a ton. Subscribe if you guys are new, on our way towards 17,000. Really appreciate the incredible support once again the entire MLB 19 season. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So of course, the 7th inning program is going to be coming out on Friday. We will see the full boss reveal on Thursday. I just did recently, earlier today, update my predictions on the 7th inning program. So if you guys want to check that out, it will be a card up in the top right hand corner. I do quickly want to mention that there is one that is pretty much confirmed, and that's going to be Jeff Bagwell. Now, somebody did try to tell me in the comments section that it could be Trout based on some clues. Basically, it's just a bunch of statistics they gave us, and there was a picture that showed pinstripes, and more or less it is going to be Jeff Bagwell. I would be very, very surprised if that is not the case, so I don't know if that's something you guys are into, but it's pretty much going to say that Albert Pujols is not going to be in the 7th inning program. So I just wanted to let that be known in case you guys had not heard of it, or if you have not watched my other video previously. But taking a look at the market, as we can see right now, these cards are expensive. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I really do not know how these cards came to be this expensive. I did expect this round to be a little bit more than previously for one particular reason, and that is the fact that there is just a decreased player base within MLB The Show as of late, because you guys know Madden dropped, NBA 2K just came out last Friday. We have a whole bunch of other games, and nonetheless the game is about halfway through its life cycle. It came out in March and it is now September, so I'm not going to do the math, but I think it's 5 or 6 months. I think it's going to be the 6th month of the game's lifespan once we hit the 23rd, because I know that's the day that it did come out. So you know, obviously the game is not going to have as many players as it did 3 months ago. That is just obvious, but I didn't expect cards to be going for this much, because I remember, you guys know, I did the 6th inning voucher, and in order to get that, all of the bosses, because they are pretty much always the same price, at least right away, Lou Gehrig probably cost me about 80,000. Hopefully we can see a little bit right here. Yeah, Lou Gehrig has generally went upwards, and yeah, he would have been about 80,000 by the time I picked him up, or I already had him by the time that I was going to do the voucher. All cards were going for about 80, and at the same time they're going for 50,000 stubs more, which is really crazy to think about. And yes, I would say that these last bosses have been better than the previous round, well, with it being Lou Gehrig, Josh Donaldson, and Bob Gibson. That was really a stacked lineup, but I think this is also an equally, or maybe even a little bit better round of bosses, the trio that we did get with Griffey, Jackie, and Mike Piazza, but they're not 50k more. And now I do know that we did recently just have a stub sale that could possibly still have some additional effects to the market, but I don't know. It is just crazy right now, and cards are just super expensive. You know, a lot of cards have been going up in value. Corey Kluber, I remember I bought him. I don't remember exactly how much I bought him for. If we look at the market right here, at one time he was going for like 73 towards the end, and I feel like that's kind of the price I bought him for. He's going for 110,000 at this point, so the market is definitely weird. And to be honest with you, I kind of wanted to make a market talk video anyway, but I'm gonna kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm not really too sure if the market's going to ever recover. I think the market is going to stay high for quite some time unless we see something that would decrease the market and have a market crash, which I'm not really too sure what that would take, to be honest with you. It is just kind of crazy in my opinion. But if we're going to look at it all in total, let's just say, and of course let's use the sell now price, let's just say a cool 125 per boss. So if you do the math, that's going to be 375,000 stubs that you're going to be putting in order to get the voucher, which is pretty crazy. Of course, if you already do have one, if you kept the one that you got from the program that you have completed, you are going to only have to do 250,000, and then of course you get 300,000, or you get 30,000 stubs back after you do the collection for the program. Once again, you guys can see over here, you add those in, you get 30,000 stubs and 5,000 XP back, which, in case STS, if somebody is watching this, I really think that has to be updated upped at this point. If these cards are going to be going for this much, you have to make it more than 30,000, make it 60,000 or something, because that is quite a hefty price to put on it. And unless we get a whole round of like Babe Ruth, Chipper Jones, and I don't even know who the other like most desirable player would be, like Ted Williams or somebody, I really just don't see that being worth it. I don't know, 30,000 stubs seems a little bit light considering you're locking in near 400,000 stubs worth of value into your collection, never to be seen again. That's just my opinion. I think that definitely has to be upped. So for that price, I don't know. It's tough. Once again, I always say usually in these videos that if you're going to be able to grind it out like the first weekend, the first day especially, like I did the last time, and I will have an updated how to get the most stars in the least amount of time once I do that. I usually would recommend it because that's when you can sell it for a lot, but I don't know. Because if you think about it, if you spend 400, we'll call it 400,000 stubs, we'll round it up a little bit. If you spend 400K, I find it hard to believe that, one, these cards are even going to be going for more than that if you give it a weekend, because last time it dropped on Thursday night, the content. This time it's going to be Friday at about 12 Pacific time, 3 Eastern. So let's say the first people are starting to complete it late that night or really early into the next morning, like before like sunrise. I have a hard time believing these cards are going to be going for that much more than 400K, and I have an even harder time believing that people are actually going to fill those orders. You know, it's one thing to be able to have and to put it up for that price. It's another thing for somebody to actually buy them. So I'm going to say no, this is not necessarily worth it unless you really just got it like that, unless you made a killing in the stub sale, you just, you know, spent a lot of stubs, or you just have a high bank, or if you really like these cards. Those are really the only two ways. Even if, and this is like the rare occurrence, even if that you have your entire weekend cleared, even if you are going to grind nonstop, I just don't know if it's necessarily worth it. I'm going to say a quick disclaimer. I'm probably going to do it because I am a content creator and that's just what I'm going to do, but I would not recommend it in a sense of being able to make stubs on it. Last time, I believe I made 150 to 200,000 stubs after selling Griffey. I don't remember how much I sold them for, but basically from what I had to spend for the voucher, all in all, I made about 150 to 200K profit. I just don't see that. Maybe I would be able to make 50K profit if I'm lucky, but I don't think this is going to be that much of a stub making opportunity anymore, which is kind of sad to see unless something else changes. But the way that it's been so far, I just don't see that happening. Even with this last round, I was particularly surprised because these cards, and don't mind the 1 million right there, but I'll move myself so you guys can see a little bit better. You guys can see these cards did not go for, they didn't seem to be having as much of a high value for as long as we usually see. I don't know if it's just because more people are seeing different ways to get stars and they know how to get them faster than otherwise, so now more people are being able to do it. I don't know if it was a rare occurrence and everybody and their mother was just rushing out to get Ken Griffey Jr. I'm not really too sure, but fair to say, I do not recommend that you guys get the voucher unless you really have a good interest in Ken Griffey Jr., Piazza, and Jackie Robinson, and you want to have them on your team for the rest of the year, and you don't mind locking in the stubs, you don't mind spending the spending the currency, the in-game currency to do so. But that's really the only way. You know, if you're looking for a means to make stubs, I just do not know if it is there anymore, which is unfortunate. You know, it would take, I don't even know what it would take, like I said, but the way the program has been going currently, unless they really added something else, like we almost got, in a sense, like boss-worthy players in the second star pack, which even then, because these cards are pretty damn good, 95 overall cards, and they're probably going for no more than 15K, if even that at this point. Garrett Anderson from the last round is going for 12. Yeah, they're going for 10K, so that's double their quick sell value. You can buy a 95 overall card for 8K, so unless they did something like that to really add a bunch more more stubs in the collection earlier on besides from the bosses, which I don't necessarily see them doing. They haven't really increased something. I wouldn't be surprised if they started adding like 90, low 90 overalls to the first 100-star pack, just because these are outdated. You know, maybe the Mark Melanson for more of a budget rotate, or not rotation, but bullpen is usable, but nobody is actually using this Eric Davis or Lefty Grove, so I would appreciate if they did that. If they want to throw in more packs than just a singular dingular show pack, that could also be nice, but unless they do something otherwise to increase the stub count that you get within the first, before you get to 300 stars, I just don't think it's worth it. We're going to have to wait and see Thursday night. Like I said, I will be making a video talking about that, and I will give you my input then, whether or not. But I would say if you do want to do it, get the cards now. I only see them going up as time goes on, as we saw with the previous boss players. They were going for 80k, now they're going for over 100. So even if you're going to completely detest what I told you in this video and you're going to do it anyway, you don't give a damn, you want to get the voucher, I would recommend get your orders, get these cards bought right now, because I only see them going up later in price after we see the reviews. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think. Are you guys going to be going out to do the voucher? Do you still think there is a, do you still think it's worth it? Do you still think it is a viable means to making stubs? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there. And if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like down below. Hope you guys are great today. There goes some Saudi.
Love is love, and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.